Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is Screwball Toy Hunts back here with another video for you guys today. And in this video, we're going to be reviewing the final swingsuit for Tom Holland's Spider-Man from Spider-Man No Way Home. So before we get into that, thank you so much for joining me on this video. Can we get 100 likes minimum on today's video? That'd be awesome. That's the best way you can help me grow this channel, is by hitting that like button. And speaking of growing the channel, we are doing a giveaway. So at 3,000 subscribers, we are giving away a Marvel Legend of your choosing. All you got to do is be subscribed, like this video, turn on the post notifications for all the content on the channel, and last but not least, leave a comment on your favorite memory of all time with Marvel Legends, and I'll pick the winner once we hit 3,000 subscribers. So there's that. So like I said, today reviewing the final swingsuit, Tom Holland, arguably the most anticipated out of the main line. Of course, this guy right here was probably the most anticipated from the whole wave, but he's not really considered a part of the wave. But I do want to show you something. So I made this awesome custom right here, right? And look what I did, right? All I did, because if you're going to display your goblin like how I am, and by the way, I took off his thing. So as you see here, it's only connected through one arm and like that. So all you do is pop the head off and you make sure you just slide it over the ball joint, and then it goes right through the arm. So this is easily, you could easily take this on and off, by the way. So it's pretty easy, right? And I was like, okay, I want Raimi Spider-Man 1 Goblin. Now, of course, he has the satchel, which he didn't wear in the OG movie, but I'll leave that on. There's no way I'm going to take that off without damaging that. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this Willem Dafoe head sculpt go to waste. So what I did, and you could do this too, this is very easy. All you do is get your Everett Ross from the Wakanda Forever wave, which if you want another one, they're at Ollie's right now for $10, right? And if you want to do that, or you could just use one you already have in your collection like I did, because I don't need an Everett Ross, really. If I want one, I'll go get another one at Ollie's. But all I did was pop this head off and put Norman's head on. Now, Norman's head is a little tight. It's not the best fit in the world, but this is pretty accurate. I mean, this is pretty much Norman Osborn from Spider-Man 1. I think, he looks very similar to the I'm something of a scientist myself meme from the first movie. I think he's wearing a suit and a blue tie in that scene itself. I have to go back and look. But yeah, this is pretty screen accurate to Spider-Man 1. So if you want to do this simple custom, I recommend you do. Because I don't know, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. I think they're going to do like OG Raimi, like Marvel Legends. Like, we've already got a couple of them, of course, but I do think we're going to get like a Topher Grace Venom. We'll get a Harry Osborn. I forget the actor's name. We'll get him. We'll get like a Spider-Man 1 Goblin that looks like screen accurate to Spider-Man 1. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get these guys in Marvel Legends anyways. But suited Norman Osborn, that's how you do it. That's the best formula. I saw people using the Daredevil sculpt that just came out. I wouldn't use that. I would keep Daredevil how it is. I think this is the best accurate screen representation of Spider-Man 1. But either way, I just wanted to share that before we get into the review itself. So here we go. Final swing Tom Holland Spider-Man. Probably the most anticipated figure from the main line itself. Of course, he wore this in just like a minute of the last minute of the movie. I assume for Spider-Man 4, when we do get Spider-Man 4 in 2025, I believe it's when it's coming out. I assume he is going to wear this suit in the movie. I mean, I'd have to imagine. So, of course, we got the Spider-Man No Way Home. We got the 3 Spider-Men on the final battle scene with Electro's lightning bolts. I'll tell you one thing, man. Still to this day, I'm not happy we didn't get an Electro yet. Still to this day, very upset we did not get a Jamie Foxx Electro. But they did say it's coming, so it's going to have to wait, I guess. But either way, there's a picture of the front. On the back, you have that same image, just a lot bigger. And we have a read-up, so I'll read this here for a second. It says, Spider-Man is Peter Parker, our friendly neighborhood web-slinging unmasked, no longer able to separate his life as a high schooler from the high-stakes world of being a superhero. So, pretty generic, honestly. That's kind of a read-up that you would have on the back of a box before the movie came out to not spoil anything. Yeah, but like I said, this movie's like 2 years old now, coming up in like a week. So, yeah, I mean, better late than never, right? That's what I like to say. So, without further ado, let's break into it. I hate to open these, but again, we're doing it for the reviews. And I quite frankly don't have much space left for mint on card stuff. I don't. I have a lot of mint on card, like WWE and like some other like Marvel Legends and things like that. I just have no room to keep stuff mint on card. I just don't, unless I have to sell some stuff or something like that. So here's what he looks like outside of the box, and we'll get him out of the plastic prison now. So his hands are taped up. And I will say, this figure has received a lot of controversial opinion on it for a couple reasons we'll highlight in this video. Hopefully it doesn't happen with me, but we'll wait and see what happens. There's a lot of scrutiny right now. I can already kind of see one little part that they're referring to with one of these hands I'm looking at right now. But yeah, there's a lot of people complaining about this figure for different reasons, and I'll talk about why here in this video. Let's hope it doesn't happen to mine. We'll have to wait and see. But there's that. And of course, pop the head right off. Head's giving me some problem. Here we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, here we go. We got the whole shebang here. So we'll review the hands first, as I was referring to. Let me get them off the table here. So we got some hands, right? We got some hands. We got 2 flipping hands, as you see right in the left. And we have 2 wall-crawling hands. And he comes with fists as well. So he has 3 different sets of hands. So that's pretty good if you ask me. Now, what I was referring to is right, I believe, let me find the hand that I saw it on. It is, I believe, which one is it? I'm not entirely sure. But one of these hands, I did notice, had really, really thick and sloppy web lines. I think it's this one right here. I think it's this one right here. Let me take a look. Yeah, so the web lines on this, see how the ones going up and down are a lot like darker than the ones going like left to right. You see that? Like on the hand itself, the palm of the hand. You see that right there? That's what I'm talking about. So a lot of people are complaining, and luckily, let's check out the figure, because people are complaining with this on the figure itself, and we'll have to, get a nice little close-up here of this. But this figure, off the rip, is pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do is, here's how I think I'm going to display this figure. I'm going to take, if it works, now we'll have to wait and see, I'm going to take the Spider-Man or Peter Parker and Ned smiling Peter Parker face, and I'm going to put it on this. But I think at the end of the movie, that's probably the best way to describe his expression. It was a smiling, and he was happy, to finally get it all over with. So I think that's how I'm going to really display this guy. But either way, let's probably pop. I'm going to pop the head off, and I'm going to put the mask head on, because you probably want to see what it looks like with the mask. So we'll pop the head. And here's another thing, right? Here's another thing. We've seen that Tom Holland head used, I think, like 4 or 5 different times. Not going to lie. The brand new MCU Best of Wave has this exact same head, literally. So, it is what it is. We've seen this Tom Holland head a ton of times. I mean, it looks great. I mean, it's not like, it looks identical to Tom Holland, so that's not a problem. So, all right, here we go. Put that to the side. So let's look at the Spider-Man figure himself. So, off the rip, I like how it looks. I really enjoy how this figure looks. There is metallic blue paint. So, of course, at the end of the movie, the biggest fear I had with this figure, going into this figure, not knowing what it was going to look like in hand, is, as you know, in the end of the movie, his blue on his suit is like metallic blue. And luckily, just looking at it, they did a pretty good job of, as you see, my light, when I turn the figure left and right, you can see that the paint is kind of metallic. It shimmers, as you see, a little bit. So that's pretty good. That was my biggest fear with this figure when Hasbro announced that they were making one, because I thought it would be a matte blue and it wouldn't like shine like how it did in the movie. So that's a plus. So A+ there on that. So as you see, he stands on his own, no help. That's always a good sign in my eyes. It's always a good sign in my book as well. That's always the first test we do here on the channel, is can he stand on his own without a stand or something like that. So that's pretty good. So let's look at the figure himself. Let's go with the mask first. As you can see, the web lines look pretty good. Now, some people, unfortunately, did not have the same luck as me. So some people, like the eye, like the paint would be all the way to the other side of the face, and the web lines would be sloppy. Luckily, looks like I got a good figure here. So I don't see... Now, of course, I might have to do a second or third take of this figure behind the camera just to see what the web lines are looking like in close. But first impressions looks like I got a good figure, so that is always good to me. Now, some people, like I did say, were complaining that their figures, their web lines were either lighter or darker than some lines and like misprinted and things like that. But luckily, looks like mine got pretty good. Mine, I think, is damn near perfect. I mean, there probably is some problem I'm just not looking at right now off first impression, but I like it. I like it. So let's look at the head first. Of course, this is probably the best MCU Spider-Man head sculpt we have gotten. Ultimately, this might go down as the best MCU Spider-Man figure we have gotten to date yet. I think this is really, really good. So let's go over, of course, the torso here. Again, torso, that metallic blue paint on the sides. Web lines look pretty good. That brand new Spider logo, which I assume he's going to use in future films, at least for Spider-Man 4, at least I would like to think. They're probably going to switch up his suit. Of course, he is going to get the symbiote. As you, spoiler alert, if you watched No Way Home, which I guarantee you did, he is going to get the symbiote probably in Secret Wars. So there's definitely going to be another Tom Holland Spider-Man figure that's different than this one right here. But for now, I mean, this is definitely the current and probably one he's going to use in Spider-Man 4, I'd have to imagine. But there's that nice Spider logo. Very reminiscent of the deleted Civil War. Of course, as you guys know, we covered that. There is the new Civil War figure that comes out relatively soon. This is the logo, so I kind of find that interesting how they're reusing that logo that they didn't use in 2016. Of course, on the back here, you got another new Spider-Man logo, which is really just that logo on the front, but just blown up a little bit bigger in red, and of course with the blue. The web lines, I will say, the web lines on my figure, they look pretty good. They look pretty good. Luckily, I think we got a good figure here. We didn't get any sloppy paint lines, at least to my knowledge. Now, let me see here. I could see something. No? Okay, never mind. I thought I saw a little something there on the belt right here, but no, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, this figure's good. The boots, we got the boots here. Pretty good, man. Pretty good. So let's go over articulation. Of course, Spider-Man's all about the articulation, so I assume you guys want to see it. Up, down, pretty effortlessly, all the way around, no problem at all. Of course, he has butterfly joints. Every Spider-Man figure nowadays has butterfly joints, so that's always an A+ in my eyes. Of course he has, I would like to assume he has pinless elbows. Yes, he does. But there's the problem. Here is definitely where people were starting to complain. You see how that piece of blue right there is not colored? That's another thing people are complaining about because it just doesn't look right. So if you have your Spider-Man like this, trying to do an elbow drop or something, that little two pieces of red right there really stick out. But luckily, I'm not going to do that. I don't got really nothing to worry about on that front. I'm definitely not going to display my Spider-Man like that on the shelf. So I don't really have a problem there. But of course, he has butterfly joints, like I said, pinless elbows. He has two ab crunches. He has a torso crunch. I guess we'll call this a torso crunch. He can go all the way back, all the way forward. And then he has another crunch right here in the abdomen, really. Kind of is what it is. And he have a double ab crunch. So, and we have, of course, the drop down hips. As you can tell, they're drop down. So yeah, ultimately, this Spider-Man only is really missing the toe articulation. There is no toe articulation with this figure. The thigh cut, no boot cut. There is not, at least I'm not seeing it. No, there is not a boot cut, because, of course, it would mess up the design on the suit. So there is no boot cut. Of course, knees, pinless knees all the way front and all the way back. So, of course, you can do the whole shebang here. Overall, to wrap this video up, man, this figure's pretty good. I mean, I understand people are having complaints with it. Luckily, I am very fortunate that this is not the case for me. So I'm going to give this figure, honestly, a 9.5. I'm going to give this figure a 9.5. Like I said, this was probably the most anticipated figure out of all of the mainline stuff. Daredevil probably came in second, probably to most people, depending on if you had the 3-pack. Now, I had the 3-pack. Of course, we are going to review Tom, Toby. We're going to review them all. So, this is probably the one I was most excited for. Daredevil second, and then obviously this is the Deluxe Goblin's probably the most anticipated. But I don't count that as part of the main line because it's really not. But either way, I'm going to give this figure a 9.5. What I'm going to do is I'm probably going to pop this head off to display it on my shelf. And I'm going to probably put the Ned Leeds and Peter Parker high school outfit attire, like that smiley face he has on. I'm probably going to put that head on this body. I would hope it fits. I would like to assume it's going to. So that's probably how I'm going to go about it. If not, I'm just going to use it like this probably. I mean, we've gotten this Tom Holland head a million times. I mean, this is probably like the 5th time at least we've gotten this Tom Holland head. So there's really nothing new there. But overall, this figure is really damn good. I'm going to give this figure a 9.5. So guys, let me know what you think about the final swingsuit Tom. I love it. The paint lines are good for me. The metallic blue paint all across where the blue is. The web lines are good. Articulation is great. Very, very good. This probably is going to go down, for now, as the best MCU Spider-Man figure to date, until, of course, we get more Spider-Man content, which is probably a couple years away at this point. So, guys, with that being said, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video.